You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
We're going to devote our energies to sports and gardening, all the cultural pursuits as far as they're concerned. In fact, we're going to put the goons to sleep. Meanwhile, we dig.
Here we go again.
Greetings and welcome to the Anadrome. This is Burn Power coming to you from Tbilisi, Georgia. Gamma Jopa. Where is Tbilisi? It's not in America. I will just put it to you that way. Well, I just got back from watching Ryan Coogler's new film. Ryan Coogler is the guy who directed the original Black Panther, which I thought was a good film. Other people really loved it, but I really loved this film. I thought this was quite interesting and had a lot of meat to chew on. I'm not even sure if I agree with the philosophical meat because there was that much that I'm still digesting it. But I just got back. It's a bit after 10 p.m., dark, came back on the bus, and what I can tell you about Sinners is this. It's an R-rated movie, and it earns its R rating, both in terms of the bloodshed and in terms of, what do we call it, conjugality. Is that a good word? Casual conjugal relations. So I think that this film is interesting, and I don't want to give away certain parts. You should see it if you're at all interested in the subject matter, and I'll give you hints about what the subject is. But I will say this, there is a big reveal, and at first it's a very good it's an American Gothic. That is to say, it's a darker vision of America. It's set in the 1930s, 1932, to be precise, which is in the height of the Depression. But there are people there. There are callbacks to World War I, callbacks to the 1920s, and even look forwards. One of the interesting things, there is a dance sequence in which you are in a juke joint. Juke joint is a place on the other side of the tracks where the black folks get together and play the blues and dance to it and such like that. And this was set in Mississippi. And the song has people dancing, and then suddenly it becomes like a, what should we call? It becomes something like an homage. How's that? Is that a good word? French word? A homage? It's a more English-sounding version of it. To so many aspects of Black American culture. And this film is really about that in some sort of way. As a central theme. But it's got a lot more on its mind than that. Now, at a certain point, there was a reveal of the kinds of things that are going to happen increasingly in the film. And let's say there are some people who are spreading some sort of, is it a sickness or not? I'm not going to explain what it is. But, and they've done a very good job of hiding it, which is good, which is another reason. If you watch someone and they say, we're going to explain it all, don't watch that video. Don't watch, evidently, the later trailers for it either. Just go in blind and listen to what I'm saying now and decide if this is a good film for you. There is this, let's call it a parasitic thing that gets spread amongst the people. Now, it's called Sinners for a reason, because in Black America, you have the church, and then you have the juke joint or the blues joint, or later it would be, the gangster rappers and all of this stuff. And so the sinners are the people who are at the juke joint. That's one way of looking at it. But Ryan Coogler has a lot more on his mind. When these parasitic individuals start showing up, at first I was starting to sniff a little bit of allegory. And I was starting to think like, okay, the white folks are bringing this thing in, and it is, what can we call it? They're infecting everyone. But that's too simplistic. It's an easy read at about the 3/4 of the way through the film, but then it's too easy. It's not that simple. I think he's got a lot more on his mind than that. One of the things that this parasitic thing does to people is to cause them to all think together, to know each other's secrets. Is that an analogy for what the internet has done to us? I'll let you decide that. It also, the people, these, let's call them parasitic human beings who are multiplying by this point, are all sharing each other's thoughts, and they believe that, essentially they believe that the darkness will take over, but they're putting it all in terms of the light. That is to say, they're saying you will finally know yourself. You will finally wake up, shall we say? There is an aspect of this where I think Ryan Coogler is asking questions about the nature of some of the civil justice protests that have taken place in America, some of the thinking behind it. I don't know what he really thinks, and I'm purposely making this before I watch one review of the film or go and look to see if I can find an interview with him or anything like that. It stars Michael B. Jordan, who plays two twin brothers, and he does an excellent job, because not for 1 minute do you think they are the same person. There's a younger guy, I forgot his name. Anyway, he plays Sammy, who is the dobro player. Dobro is a kind of a steel-faced guitar, acoustic guitar. There's also quite a few references to the devil and to African magic, and in different sorts of ways. There's references galore to Robert Johnson selling his soul to the devil. And you also get that divide between the black Christians and the black blues people. And this is, if you don't know much about the black American culture, there is that divide. And it's not that far apart, because often the blues singers of the past would also do gospel. They reference Charlie Patton, who was a very important 1930s, late 20s, 1930s blues singer. And he did blues, some of the low-downest, meanest blues you ever heard, and did gospel songs. So this is very much an aspect of the African-American world. But it didn't feel like preaching to me. It felt like something much more complicated. And I would put this a lot more higher. I would put this higher next to Black Panther. Black Panther, to me, was a bit of preaching, although they do share certain elements. One is the brotherly rivalry, and what's interesting is you can look at the mindset of these parasitic individuals and say to yourself, they seem to be in an almost We Are the World vibe, which is really fascinating. Violence, oh yeah. Human mouths on bodies, yes. As I said, a lot of casual conjugal relations. But what can we say? I say, if this sounds like something for you, if you want a dark American Gothic vibe, this is for you. If things like Lovecraft Country or the works of Jordan Peele interest you, this is for you. If certain genres of films where people pass parasitic things between each other, I don't want to give away what kind of parasite it is, interest you, this is for you. I said something in my video about how great 2024 was for horror films. And I said a certain kind of film is back. This is a certain kind of film. Now, what's interesting is we've had a couple films earlier this year in the horror genre, and this definitely is. One was Companion, which was in the horror sci-fi category, and then there was The Monkey by Oz Perkins, and there's been some others. I haven't seen Heart Eyes yet, which I do want to see. Like I say, I can only see what's in Tbilisi at the theaters, and if they don't get something, I have to wait until I get a physical copy, because I'm absolutely done with streaming services, because I just feel it's wrong. And the more you know about what's going on there, the worse it gets. But suddenly in the last week, well, we had this big kind of mindless hit for the children, Minecraft. I have no comments on that because I don't play Minecraft and I have no intention of seeing the movie. And people I respect are like, this is like empty. But some kids like it, and evidently back in the States, there are people going there and throwing popcorn all over the theater. I don't know. But suddenly, with this and Warfare from last week, it feels like, okay, shit's on. We've got some stuff to show you before the end of the year. And so suddenly, the first 3 months of this year, box office-wise, have been pathetic. But now, it feels like something's cooking, and you should go check out Sinners, if it at all interests you. And I should have given you enough clues to say, well, that sounds interesting. If you like horror films, if you like traditional horror films, if you like things that have a kind of legendary quality, this dark, gloomy thing, but it could almost be considered a musical, which is really interesting. It isn't. There are a few dance scenes and some songs. If they'd hit that a little bit more, it would have been. But I think there's much more going on. But I don't want to get into the deeper parts of what this is. Just go see it. And that's all I want to say. Quick, to the point. Thanks for watching, and support the channel. I can really use the help as far as financial support. And remember, if you send $20, write the word book, I'll send you a copy of my little 3 motions puppet plays. Strange little puppet plays I wrote. And it's just a way of supporting the channel. And if you can't, I certainly understand. Hit subscribe, hit like, share this if you think it's worthwhile, and we will meet again soon. And as they say here in Tbilisi, Georgia, and other parts of the country of Georgia, not to be confused with the state, droidit, which literally just means one word, temporarily. But what it also means is, we'll just be gone from each other a little while, and then we will meet again.
When I go, I want you to give me 5 minutes. I told you boys I'm no escape artist. For the first time, I like the odds.
At the round earth's imagined corners, blow your trumpets, angels, and arise, arise from death, you numberless infinities of souls.
I seen men die in ways I ain't even know was possible. Love you, brother. Be careful. I will. With all the things that I seen, I ain't ever seen no demons, no ghosts, no magic. Till now.
Hey, get back inside.